Man, getting that diamond blue sheep earlier only has strengthened my resolve to try to find a trophy snow leopard to put in the multi-mount with it. So we're back up here in the mountains. I've gone to the west side of the Himal region, a place that we really haven't focused that much on either species, and I want to see what we can find over in here. So I did make a blue sheep drink time. If we can find another trophy one, that would be amazing. But the hope is, as we pass between the lakes, maybe we can find a snow leopard track or two. And so, our first couple of blue sheep just trying into their zones here. That's a good looking 4. 140 to 158. And something we actually haven't done yet is use the Ganhair rifle on a class 4 animal. I think everything we've shot have been class 6s, Barasinga, Nilgai. We have shot some water buffalo with it just to test it. But it's cool that it's actually going to be ethical for these guys. And maybe we'll try to make use of it a little bit more. And we did find this out hunting them earlier, but the fact that they don't always drink right on the water, it does make them a little bit tough. So a 140 gold there, there's that yellow variant once again, and obviously the rifle does a fantastic job on them, but the thing that I wanted to point out is we started at like 1430, it's 1619, and we've killed exactly 1. Now admittedly, we're hunting a part of the map that we don't know anything about them, but still, they can be pretty tough. They're not so easy to hunt even in their drink zones. Now I'm really hoping there's going to be a male somewhere at this lake, but that is a perfect example. They're way back off the water sometimes, and I'm only seeing these females, so probably just going to grab the 44 lever action. Oh, there is definitely, that's a decent looking one. Just going to go ahead and get that. Definitely some males here. I don't even know. Oh, we're maybe maybe going to die. I don't even know if we hit the right one on that follow-up shot. We gotta go so far to get back there and claim that. And if we reset the time, it should still be there. We might as well reset. This has taken us forever. I've never seen it do this. We're just gonna ride this out and see where it places us. There we go. Where did it put us? Okay, that wasn't that bad. And I think we did kill 2. But yeah, it's 1700. We might as well reset back to the beginning of blue sheep drink time, because I'd like to continue hunting once we claim that or those. And I would say that worked out decently well. I set the time to 1330, and we've made it all the way back here. Got our slate gray that we shot lung, liver, stomach there. And then which other one do... Oh. Well, that looks like a female, but it didn't go anywhere. I'm going to say then we hit the wrong one. Must have either dropped her or nearly dropped her. So we'll take that. That sounded like a blue sheep down there. They're probably just coming into their zone, and I'm guessing that's the same one. So we'll just continue on our way across. Looking like we're just getting to this lake at the right time. Got one walking in here. A couple of decent 4s. And I guess we'll try to get maybe this broadside one. We're going to go with the Ganhair again. Part of the reason we're using it today is, for one, I realize I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. That worked pretty darn good. And I'm half tempted to try to get a fleeing one with the 44, but we'll leave it at that. But I've been saying Ganhair literally for like weeks. It was just pointed out to me that it's Ganhair. So at least we can correct that now. And actually, I better even point out further still, that's still not the correct pronunciation, but without saying it in like the proper accent and stuff, I think Ganhair is going to be close enough. So a 124 brown anyway, and hopefully we can keep on using that as we go along. Might as well... We've hunted here already. There's a bunch of zones there. So let's try this little ring of them here. I see them feeding up in this area, so I bet they'll drink down that far. And I mean, if that guy's just gonna stand there, we'll definitely try to get him down. Literally right outside this outpost. And again, a great reason to carry the 44 lever action on this map. They have a tendency to just go alert or alarmed and start to walk away. You can get them no problem with that. And actually, I mentioned seeing the blue sheep down this far. I'm not sure I've seen Tar this far south, so that's actually good to know. And it's a pretty decently open area. If they're in this location consistently, probably somewhere we ought to consider for our Great One grind. Ooh, that's a big looking one. That's a 4? 141 to 159. Got a pretty decent estimate on them. And one thing that I'm kind of liking about these, I feel like you sort of have to walk up to the lakes, because they just blend in so well. You can't see them, and running at the lakes, you got a real chance of spooking them. That looks a lot like our 5, I don't know. The estimate's about as good anyway, and we'll just go right back to what we've been doing. Better make sure, I think it's that one. Okay, it is. So as long as we can line this up, probably want to aim a touch low. So far, we've had absolutely no issues taking him down with this absolute beast of a gun. I've seen a lot of questions, by the way, so I'll answer this again. You cannot attach any scopes to this gun. The only sights it has are these ones here. You can go with the sight flip down. It's a little less accurate. Flipped up is very accurate. We've been pretty consistent out even like the 250 meters. As long as we take our time with the shot, it typically hits the mark. Now as for this guy, if he's not a diamond, he's got to be darn close. Those are really wide looking horns. Obviously level 4, so we'll see where he ends up. 146, so he's still got a bit to go there. Easily our best one thus far, north of 70 kilo. So close. Honestly, at some point we gotta get their snow leopards here, but I can't help but go after these things and try to shoot them at every turn. Ooh, now that's a big one. That's a 4.2? Wait. No, he's 154 to 172 though. 154 point something was diamond, and is that the yellow variant? Or the brown? I swear if this happens again, this is the yak all over again, but it's not even max level this time. I don't remember it even being, it might be 154 flat. He sure looks good. Man, I'd love if that makes it, especially if that's the yellow variant. And I already said it, we're going with the Ganhair rifle for sure. I wonder, can this branch stop a bullet? It might be able to. So I think we're going to try to scoot all the way over to the side if we can. Or maybe he can just move around it a bit. That's the one thing with him. They're fairly mobile. That would be a decent shot to go for. Don't think we're going to pass up that opportunity. And you can tell how powerful this thing is. When the spotting info just disappears, it's especially quick how their health goes all the way down to 0. So, this is now the second time here on Nepal that we've had an animal that is basically a guaranteed diamond. Our yak didn't make it. Is the blue sheep gonna treat us a little bit more kindly? Look at the size of that thing. They just look so cool. I think that might be the yellow variant too. Tough to tell in the shade. Fingers crossed though that this doesn't happen again. That is a diamond, and that's the yellow fur type. 1 for 2 ain't bad. Double long liver with the Ganhair rifle. Now had a number of diamonds with that thing. And it was still possible. 154.08 is the diamond requirement. So he was all but guaranteed. But like I said, we've had it before. 156 I think might be the same as our level 5 diamond. But some fantastic furs. Our blue sheep luck for diamonds, the furs they've had, yellow and blue-gray, that is so cool. And now we definitely gotta go and hunt snow leopards and quit chasing blue sheep. Like I said before, I really like them, and I just can't help but go after them, and we just go from lake to lake. But anyway, I find snow leopards are a little easier to hunt early in the morning when they're feeding, so let's give that a shot. And, minus the fact that he's already taken off on us, our first snow leopard of the hunt's gonna be a 51 to 63 kilo male. Hopefully he's not gonna be too terribly far away, but we've seen, once you spook him, it can get pretty difficult. Man, he is right down there. 40 to 60 away, and the one species where snow probably doesn't help would be the snow leopards. That's gonna help him blend in a lot. We can already see it starting to accumulate. It's just starting to turn the grass and the trees over there a little bit white. If he gets much further left, he's gonna be straight downwind. I feel like we gotta try to move in here. Ooh, there he is. Just a level 6. But before he goes anywhere, at least try to get that shot. Where could we have possibly hit him? I'm sure it's gonna bring him down. I guess it was intestines? Looks like it, and that surprises me even that they're that tough. We will take that any way we can get him. He's still not dead, he just now went down. So unfortunately, he's gonna be a level 6, probably would have been a gold. We'll end up losing that medal, but I'm just glad we got him that quickly. It can take a whole lot longer than just a couple of minutes. That's kinda cool. Got blood there on top of that rock, and he's still just at 50 to 75, and they're pretty quick, so I'm sure he is way down there. And man, the snow is coming down over here. Now, he's the caramel variant, so he wouldn't have blended in maybe quite as much. How did we do that? Oh, we just were behind like the lungs and liver. The liver really is like between the lungs. So if you're back on these guys, you're kind of in for it like we had here. And the worst time to shoot him, like he's in that transition for the animation, so his neck and his shoulders all screwed up. Little unfortunate there. Hopefully the next one looks a little more elegant than that, but decent start. Got one not too long after 6 o'clock. That's pretty cool. Got a mating call from one, 110 to 160 out. Probably gonna try to mark that. It's gotta be just on over, like, cross this path, and then right down the hill. Now, if it's mating calling, especially at like 7 a.m., it's probably transitioning from a feed to rest zone, and it may well be walking right at us. Now, that is a feed zone, but I bet it's from Tibetan fox. They feed, seems like right off these paths all the time, but don't really want to walk any further with the wind like this. It'd be pretty easy to send that thing running. You know, I might have been wrong. That looks a little bigger than I thought. That is the snow leopard track. That's a really tiny male, 39 to 51 kilo? Wonder if that makes it any more likely, because now I think it actually might be moving the other way if that's where the zone was. Maybe we have a chance down there? Inevitably, we've ended up tracking this guy forever, but if he's 70 to 90 away, that tree's about 160, assuming we're not ranging the ground behind it, and I think that's the tree. There ought to be a decent bit of ground there that he can't just completely disappear in. But of course, not gonna be real easy to see him with all the snow on the ground. Oh, there he is. A level 5. Probably about as low as they get, and I think he's nervous walking back here. Might just try to get a photo. I'm really concerned we could just spook him. I don't think we're gonna get a ton of chances to get like really cool snow leopard photos. The wind is okay. If we had cover here, that'd be fantastic. Might be able to get like a couple walking through. The only thing that's unfortunate, we can't know if he's alert. He's almost looked at us, but he's down too low. He's gonna end up too close. So we probably better just go ahead and try to get him. I just love to watch them do their thing though. It's such a rare opportunity to have one walk this close to you. And even though we probably could have gotten that screenshot there, he did end up seeing us, and that's what I was afraid of. But that is the type of encounter that I'm looking for up here, whether it's a level 5 or a level 9 or anything in between. That snow variant got him, just missed the heart but hit about everything else. It just looks so nice. Really cool looking cat. Now, I was hoping when we got the initial call from this guy that maybe we could end up taxing it. I'm not going to tax a silver snow leopard. Had he been even a level 6 like before that we maybe didn't mess up, I wouldn't have minded getting one taxed to go with our new diamond blue sheep and set up 2 of the multi-mounts. The odds that the next one we find's male are not good. I would imagine if we do find another one, it'll be female, but we'll run around up here a little longer, see if maybe we stumble into something. Well, we've been officially derailed. Got a maximum estimate Tibetan fox track. We found a bunch of those like early on, and since then, I feel like we don't see him nearly as often, so might as well track him down as fresh tracks in the orange variant. And generally up here, they move slowly enough, even though it's pretty brushy, you can kind of just run after them and eventually spot them fleeing. And looks like unfortunately just gonna be a level 7. Honestly, at that point, might just go 44. That was a horrible shot, but pretty much why we went 44. That way we at least don't have to track it. That gives us at least some more time to try to find a snow leopard. And I was noticing, like, we've encountered our snow leopards a lot along these paths, and I'm not so sure their zones are necessarily close to them or anything, but that seems to be where we get the most calls, and really when we encounter them the most consistently. Talk about a bad shot through the tail and that insta-dropped it. Anyway, kind of cutting across up here because we already went this way. Gonna jump back on this trail and try to go to the east a bit. So I figured, since it's yak drink time anyway, we might as well go and give them a shot. There's so many up here, and I'm not sure if any of these are anything really special. I certainly have not gotten to the point where I can just see a big one and know the difference if it's an 8, a 7, a 9. Looks like, dang, that's a nice looking mythical, up to 277. That's probably the best one, and I was hoping maybe we'd stumble into a snow leopard as we went up here. But no such luck, and like I talked about, the odds that we find another male after finding 2 in a row, probably not that good. If we did encounter another one, I would expect it to I'd expect it to be a female. Didn't realize all 3 of those went aggressive, including the one that we got. That was the luckiest, dumbest thing. It literally stopped, and we ended up, I think, maybe brain-shotting it? Just beyond words. That was a pretty interesting way to wrap up this hunt. So, got a jet black female. This was the big mythical. 258, not too bad. And then, I'd love to know what we did here. Right through the brain. I think a perfect ending. So let's jump back, take a look at now our second diamond blue sheep, and maybe compare the two. Now I did have to do a little bit of rearranging just to get the 2 blue sheep side by side. Really, we have to stand like back here to see them both front on. It is pretty similar though. I do think the one on the right, the blue-gray, his horns have a little bit more mass. So I'm guessing there was like some additional spread or something with the yellow variant that helped to push him over the top, because he's actually bigger as a level 4 by 0.2. That's pretty insane that that can happen. I kind of do like that though. Makes shooting like high estimate 4s more worthwhile. I do feel like I can see the difference. And just the fact that our first 2 diamond blue sheep were that beautiful blue-gray color, and then the yellow variant, like our first kind of decent one, our first uncommon that we found, I think that is really, really cool. So, still, we need, I guess at this point, 2 trophy snow leopards to put together those multi-mounts, at least 1 to go with this guy, even though he's not our biggest. Definitely my favorite one, but adding another one now to our trophy lodge, and slowly but surely, we're racking up a pretty solid collection of diamonds from Suitor Patan. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.